Okay, that was weird. Hello and welcome to my channel. So I made this necklace earlier. It's just with these pearls I ordered online. Aren't they beautiful? They're like a purple color, and then I attached this magnetic clasp. And I'm making another one. So I'm gonna show you guys how to make this necklace. Okay, so here we go. Actually, where should we put it? Here? It doesn't really matter. Okay, so my supplies. I have some white. You can use any color. This happens to be like 100% polyester. Gutermann. I find this is a really good brand, a really high quality brand. The string isn't going to break. And so I'm using, this, I have previously set up my needle with 4 threads in tandem. Can you see? There's 4 threads. Is the camera picking that out? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, 4 threads, right? You tie a knot at the one end, but you leave like a long tail. You want to leave like a long enough tail. That's like, I don't know, 4 inches maybe. You want to leave a long enough tail. You want to knot it so that your first pearls are going to stop at that knot. Right? There's the length of the tail. Because we're going to be using this tail to tie off the magnetic ends. Oh, hang on a second. I just realized I don't have the other set of magnetic ends. Hang on, guys. Alright. So we have our 1+50 glasses here so that we can see up close. The holes are really small on these beads, pearls. So, and then I have this, these magnetic clasps from Bead Landing, nickel free. So that's what we're going to be using for the clasp piece. Okay, so let's go. So I'm going to put my glasses on here. I already got my needle threaded. And away we go. I can pick it up here. Alright. So I'm just going to... I should have just added the hardware right onto that strand, but I thought I was going to end up putting it on some stretchy jewelry cord, and then when I actually tried to put it on the cord was too like fat, like thick, like I couldn't get it through. So then I was like, okay, I just ended up, yeah. So now we're back to this 4 strand method. So I'm just taking off one at a time here and just beading it onto my strand. So I have it like partially folded over here. Right, this loop is collapsible, so it just squishes right through that tiny little hole on the pearl. It's like a wire. It's like a tiny wire wrapped around itself. I can feel it when I can feel like I can see it too. But it's really small, really fine, finely wound, right? So you have to be careful when you're using these needles to be really kind of like gentle. Otherwise, because they're so like fragile, you can like really bend them out of shape quickly. Like I've, you know, just rushing, like not being gentle enough. I've like bent quite a few out of shape, and they're expensive. So you don't want to be doing that. Learn from my mistakes, kids. Okay, so here we go. Just gonna keep on. These are really pretty. They're like a light pink. Really, really pretty. They're not perfectly round because this shape is a lot less expensive, and I can get a bigger bead because they're slightly misshapen. See, like one side is like really perfectly rounded, and the other side is kind of flat-ish. No. Go away. Mom's making a video. There's no room for you here right now. Just my cat trying to bother me when he knows he can see I'm busy. Right? So he suddenly wants my attention. So I'm just going to keep going until I get these all on. I was thinking that maybe I have these crystals that I bought before. They're like see-through pink at Michael's. I thought they might go nice with these, like maybe at the ends. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to use them, but anyways, they're there if I do want to. When I add the clasp part. I haven't really decided yet, but they're optional at this point. Okay, so we're almost done. I'm just trying to keep, like, whatever way they're facing, that's the way I'm trying to put them on. Just trying to keep the same pattern. You don't want to be, like, flipping them around, because then once they're on, like, you'll have, like, two flat sides together and two, like, you know, like, it won't look right. You have to just, like, follow the pattern, if you know what I mean. I hope you do. Okay, we're almost done. I mean, these aren't perfect beads anyways, but this is going to make a very beautiful necklace anyways, because once it's all together and tied off, you won't even really, your eye doesn't just goes to the sheen on the beads, like it doesn't really even pick up that they're not completely round. Okay, here's our last one. So here's our length. So like if I hold this up around my neck, it's a good length. We could just tie it off there. Okay, let's do that. Let's carefully take out our needle. Put it back. And we didn't bend it all out of shape this time. We're all proud of ourselves for not ruining it. We have a tendency to, I don't know, be a little aggressive, I guess, and ruin them. So we're so glad this one will live to bead another day. Oh, get in there. Not underneath the plastic part. Come on. Oh. Okay, get in there. Good packaging here. Oh. Good enough, just so it's, you know, not going to get all, oh, you want it to be underneath that. Come on now. Okay, whatever, good enough. Okay, so I'm going to hold it like as close to the end. Make a loop, push it through. I want to push it down because I want it to be tight to that last bead. So I want to just kind of ease it along because the weight of the pearls do kind of pull it down. So I'm going to keep my finger there as I pull it. So see, there's not much movement on that, and that's exactly what I want. Okay. So here it is, tied off. I'm going to make a second knot, I think. Yeah. These are always, I find these difficult sometimes. So I'm just going to hold it and slowly pull it tight. And then push it down with my nail. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we have this with two tails. Oops. With two tails on the end. Okay. So now we have these. What are these called? They're like the finishing beads that you put over the end and you can squish them down. Crimp beads, I think they're called. Yeah. Crimp beads, and we're going to be squishing them together with these plastic pliers. So we'll do that in a minute. So how it's going to go is we're going to put on the crimp bead right after the knot. Like we're going to thread on the crimp bead, and then we're going to thread on one side of the magnet clasp. So there's one clasp. Okay. So I'm just going to do this, take all the ends and put them through. Oh wait, should we put some crystals on? One or two crystals on. Let's see what they look like. Let's bead on a couple and see what they look like. Okay, I don't want nearly that many. Do I? Okay, let's take our beading needle back out. going to take off our crimp bead. Let's go with our longer side first, because we got quite a bit left over on this side to play around with. So let's do this. We'd have to do it even on either side, but let's just see what it looks like. Give us an idea if we want to pursue it. Right? Let's get that in there straight, like. Okay, let's put on a couple. Like, I don't know. How many do you think? 2, 3, 4, 5. How many we got out here? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 6. We'll take one more. Let's pull those down. Do we like that? Kind of get stuck at that knot, which isn't perfect. There's like a space there. I don't like that space. Not feeling that space. But if it was right up tight, yeah, maybe I can try retying that knot. Okay, let's take these off again. Okay, we're going to hold this up so that the weight of the beads holds it into the correct position for the knot. So I'm going to try retying that knot. If I can get this one untied. Done that in the first place. Oh well, we're getting to learn together, kids. Now, of course, it's going to be extremely difficult to get this knot untied. I don't know, maybe we should just leave it and put the clasp on. You know, it's not that much. No, it's actually about a centimeter. No, I don't want there to be that much movement. Okay, let's try something else. Okay, I'm just going to try beading on straight. Because the knot is not exactly in the right place. I'm just going to try to put the crimp bead over it. Type thing, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we'll do this. There's one crimp bead. Is this going to work? Yeah, because we can put it over that knot. And same with that. Okay, so we'll just let the weight of that pull it down. Adjust our needle out a little bit here. And then we will string the needle back through the crimp bead. Oh, it's trying to, the magnet keeps on pulling it. Kind of funny. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Have a curious cat there. Okay. So, I'm gonna just try to pull these as tight as I can. Carefully take this off. That back in there. Okay, now we're going to use our, once we get it into the right spot, oh, what happened? It was over the knob. We were doing so well. Okay, there, we pulled it back over, I think. Now we're going to pinch down this crimp bead. Push that down, and then we're going to knot, so we're going to put a loop around our finger because we want to tie off that string underneath where the crimp bead is secured so that it can't move. I'm just trying to get it through the loop here. Come on. Okay, there's all 4 strands through, so I want to do this slowly and carefully because I want to make sure that it's secured underneath that crimp bead. Okay, so there's our first knot. So now that's nice and secure. We're going to knot that again in a minute, but now we're going to go to work on the other side. So we didn't end up using these, so we're going to put them back. We'll use them for something else. These are pretty enough on their own, I think. Okay, and here's our other crimp bead. So again, I'm just taking all 4 ends, putting it through the crimp bead, putting all of them rather through the crimp bead. I got 2 through. There's 3. Oh, get in there with your friends. And 4, okay. Now these 4 strands are going to go through this other loop, basically the other half of the magnetic clasp. We'll undo it because we don't want to put unnecessary pressure on it at this point when it's not completely tied off yet. Okay, all 4 strands through. We'll back it up a tiny bit because now we're going to loop it over and we're going to go back through that crimp bead. So we're going to loop the threads over the loop on the clasp. String these back through. You can use your beading needle if that's easier for you. I probably should have used the beading needle. Oh, I got one more. I gotta get this last one to go through here. Okay, and then I'm going to pull that down tight to that last pearl, and then I'm going to squish this crimp bead closed. And then I'm going to make a knot underneath the crimp bead, like I did on the other side. So I'm going to try to squish it from both sides because I want to make sure that it's nice and squished down on that thread. Okay, and now I'm going to knot it. So I'm going to hold it, I'm going to make a loop. And I'm going to take the ends and I'm going to put them through that loop. Okay, this is not working out. Let's start over. Alright, we're going to hold it straight. We're going to make a loop with all 4, no strays. Oh, we're going to get it. It keeps slipping out of my fingers, okay. This keeps going like all errant, okay. Loop, and we're going to Try coming up from the underside here. Okay, that seems to be working better. We're going to carefully tighten that knot. Okay, that looks good. We're going to make another one because we want this to be nice and secure before we cut these tails off. I'm going to do it maybe 3 or 4 times because that magnet is pretty strong and I want to... Oh, what happened there? I want to feel secure that when I'm pulling that magnet apart to put this piece on, it's not going to, you know, pull out those strings like and unclasp my actual, you know, make my pearls go flying across the room or all over the floor. That's not very romantic. So we're going to make sure that doesn't happen by tying another knot. Here, carefully just easing it on underneath that. Oh, kind of got caught, so I'm going to push it down there with my nail and tighten it up. And that worked great. Okay. I think we're going to do one more. Then we'll go over to the other side and do another 2. So here's our last knot. We're going to make sure that we hold the threads under that crimp bead. Put our loop through. We have an errant strand here that was shorter and didn't want to cooperate. To pull that one out. It's got a little wonky. Have to start over. I'll loop around under the crimp bead. Make a loop. Put the 4 strands through and carefully knot it off. All of them at the same time, otherwise you end up with that sketchy mess there you saw. Okay, there we go. Perfect. That's what it looks like up close when it's completely tied off. And see that long tail? I'm going to cut that off after, but so that's what it looks like right now. One end of the magnet secured, and then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to hold the magnet out. I'm going to make a loop underneath that crimp bead. And then I'm going to take my strands and put them through. Okay, one more. Make a loop. Hold it underneath that crimp bead. Don't let it ride up over like type thing. Get your ends. Put them through. Carefully hold that string under the crimp bead and then secure that knot tight. Okay, perfect. Now look at this. Now that we got both sides, ready? Ta-da! And this is now strong enough that if I tug on it, it's not going to break my strings off because I knotted it like 3 times, right? So it's like nice and secure now. And then the last thing to do, of course, is to just cut off these tails, if you will, and voila. Voila, pearl necklace, magnetic clasp pearl necklace. I don't have the scissors, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm just going to take the scissors and just very carefully snip as close to those knots as possible without severing any of the knot. And that's the last step in this process. You want me to go get the scissors? I'll show you guys. Okay, hang on. So there you have it. There's the 2 necklaces I made today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel as I'm still building my audience. And I thank you so very much for watching. And you all have a wonderful day.